Embark on a journey through the saga of Ragnar Lothbrok, a legendary Viking whose life was a tapestry woven with threads of adventure, ambition, and conspiracy. From his humble beginnings in the fjords of Scandinavia to the pinnacle of power and conquest, Ragnar's tale is one of epic proportions. The hit TV series Vikings brought Ragnar Lothbrok to millions of viewers worldwide, portraying him as a charismatic and ambitious warrior king. The show explores his rise to power, his tumultuous relationships, and his legendary exploits, captivating audiences with its blend of historical drama and epic storytelling. Join us as we unravel the mysteries of his early years, trace his meteoric rise to chieftaincy, delve into the complexities of his family life and friendships, and witness the daring conquests and adventures that forged his legacy. But beware, for even legends must face their ultimate reckoning. Discover the untold story of Ragnar Lothbrok, from the cradle to the grave. Ragnar Lothbrok is a legendary Norse figure whose story is intertwined with myth and history. According to legend, he was born in the 9th century in Scandinavia and became a renowned Viking warrior and king. As a young boy, he grew up in a small village surrounded by forests and mountains. Ragnar's family lived a simple life, farming the land and fishing in the nearby rivers. From an early age, Ragnar showed a natural talent for hunting and fishing. He would spend hours exploring the wilderness, honing his skills as a warrior and survivalist. Despite his humble beginnings, Ragnar was ambitious and dreamed of becoming a great leader and conqueror. He would listen eagerly to the stories of Norse gods and heroes, drawing inspiration from their adventures. As he grew older, Ragnar's thirst for adventure only grew stronger. He longed to explore distant lands and seek out new challenges. Ragnar Lothbrok's rise to kingship is a blend of historical accounts and legendary tales. According to Norse sagas, Ragnar's path to kingship began with his prowess as a warrior and his cunning tactics in raids and battles. Through his successful campaigns, he gained fame and followers, which likely contributed to his eventual ascent to kingship. Additionally, marriages and alliances with powerful families may have played a role in solidifying his position as a ruler. However, the exact details of how Ragnar became a king are not definitively documented, as much of his story is based on oral tradition and myth. Ragnar Lothbrok's family life was marked by complexity and legend. He is said to have had multiple wives and many sons, each with their own distinct personalities and roles in history. His wives, such as Lagertha and Aslog, were renowned shield maidens and queens in their own right, adding depth to his familial connections. Among his sons, Bjorn Ironside stands out as a legendary warrior and explorer, while Ivar the Boneless is known for his cunning and strategic mind. Sigurd Snake in the Eye and Ub also played significant roles in Viking history, each leaving their mark on the world through conquest and alliances. Despite their differing personalities and ambitions, Ragnar's sons shared a common heritage and legacy, which fueled their own quest for power and glory. Ragnar Lothbrok's friendships were characterized by loyalty, mutual respect, and shared adventures. He formed strong bonds with fellow warriors, chiefs, and allies who admired his bravery and leadership on the battlefield. Among his closest companions were figures like Floki, the enigmatic shipbuilder whose loyalty to Ragnar was unwavering, despite occasional tensions. Athelstan, a Christian monk captured during a raid, became Ragnar's confidant and advisor, transcending cultural and religious differences to forge a deep friendship. Ragnar's alliances with rulers like King Horik and King Egbert also demonstrated his ability to build lasting friendships based on mutual benefit and respect. These friendships were tested by the challenges of Viking politics and warfare, but they endured, leaving an indelible mark on Ragnar's legacy as a leader and friend. Ragnar Lothbrok's conquests and adventures were the stuff of legend, known far and wide across the Viking world. His first raid is shrouded in the mists of legend, with various accounts and interpretations. According to some sagas, his first raid was a daring expedition to the shores of England, where he and his followers launched a surprise attack on the monastery at Lindisfarne. Under the cover of darkness, Ragnar's longships silently approached the unsuspecting monastery, their arrival heralding chaos and destruction. The raiders pillaged the monastery, seizing treasures and valuables, and leaving devastation in their wake. This audacious assault marked the beginning of Ragnar's legendary career as a Viking raider and warrior, laying the foundation for his future conquests and adventures. Though the specifics of this raid may vary in different accounts, its significance in Ragnar Lothbrok's saga remains undeniable. But it was his siege of Paris that truly solidified his reputation as a Viking hero. In the year 845 AD, Ragnar led a massive Viking fleet up the Seine River to launch an audacious assault on the wealthy city of Paris. With cunning tactics and sheer determination, Ragnar's forces besieged the city, putting its defenses to the test. Despite facing fierce resistance from the Franks in their fortified walls, the Vikings pressed on, driven by the promise of riches and glory. The siege on Paris became a spectacle that captured the imagination of both contemporaries and future generations. Ragnar's daring raid showcased his strategic brilliance, fearless leadership, and indomitable spirit. Even though the siege ultimately ended in a negotiated settlement, the audacity of Ragnar's campaign left an indelible mark on history. This dramatic confrontation with one of the great cities of Europe solidified Ragnar Lothbrok's reputation as a Viking legend, ensuring that his name would be remembered for centuries to come. The tales of his siege on Paris have been passed down through sagas, songs, and legends, immortalizing him as one of the most famous and feared warriors of the Viking Age. Ragnar Lothbrok's legacy spans strategic brilliance in battle, expanding Viking influence through legendary raids, and shaping the political landscape through his descendants. His romantic exploits with Lager remain iconic symbols of love and loyalty, while his enigmatic persona and mythical origins continue to fascinate storytellers and historians alike. Through his daring exploits and fearless leadership, Ragnar inspired future generations of warriors to emulate his tactics and valor, leaving an indelible mark on Norse mythology and history. However, Ragnar's story was not without tragedy. The tale of Ragnar Lothbrok's snake pit death is one of the most famous legends surrounding the legendary Viking figure. According to the sagas, after being captured by King El of Northumbria, Ragnar faced a gruesome death in a snake pit. Legend has it that Ragnar, defiant to the end, threw himself into the pit of venomous snakes, uttering his final words. How the little pigs would grunt if they knew how the old boar suffers. This dramatic and symbolic death has been immortalized in various retellings of Ragnar's saga, symbolizing his courage, defiance, and acceptance of fate. Though the historical accuracy of this event is debated, it remains a powerful and enduring part of Ragnar Lothbrok's legend. After the death of Ragnar Lothbrok, the Vikings experienced a period of transition and upheaval. Without their legendary leader to unify them, Viking society fragmented into smaller clans and factions, each vying for power and influence. While Ragnar's sons, such as Bjorn Ironside and Ivar the Boneless, attempted to carry on his legacy, they faced internal divisions and external threats from neighboring kingdoms. The absence of a central figure like Ragnar left the Vikings vulnerable to internal strife and external aggression. Despite these challenges, Viking culture continued to thrive, with raiding expeditions, trade networks, and settlement ventures persisting throughout the region. The death of Ragnar marked the end of an era, but it also paved the way for new leaders and developments within Viking society. Ragnar Lothbrok's story is shrouded in myth and legend, making it difficult to separate fact from fiction. Throughout history, his exploits have been immortalized in sagas, poems, and legends, blurring the lines between mythology and reality. In Norse mythology, Ragnar is often depicted as a larger-than-life figure, descended from the gods themselves. Tales of his bravery, cunning, and supernatural abilities have been passed down through generations, embellished with fantastical elements and divine intervention. However, when we examine the historical records, we find a more nuanced picture of Ragnar's life. While some aspects of his story may be based on truth, many details are likely exaggerated or invented for dramatic effect. For example, the famous raid on the monastery at Lindisfarne is a well-documented event in history, but the specifics of Ragnar's involvement and his legendary feats during the raid are less certain. Likewise, accounts of his encounters with mythical creatures and gods are like embellishments added by later storytellers. Nevertheless, Ragnar Lothbrok remains a fascinating figure whose story continues to capture the imagination of people around the world. Whether viewed through the lens of mythology or reality, his legacy as a Viking hero endures, inspiring countless tales of adventure and valor. As the tapestry of Ragnar Lothbrok's life unfurls before us, we witness the mesmerizing journey of a man who defied the odds and carved his name into the annals of history. From his humble beginnings in the windswept fjords of Scandinavia to the zenith of his power as a legendary Viking chieftain, Ragnar's story is a testament to the boundless potential of the human spirit. His early years, steeped in hardship and perseverance, laid the groundwork for his meteoric rise to prominence. With each triumph on the battlefield and each alliance forged through blood and steel, Ragnar ascended the ranks of Viking society, earning the respect and admiration of his peers. But amidst the clamor of conquest and the glory of victory, Ragnar's heart remained anchored to the bonds of family and friendship. His love for Lagertha, the indomitable shield maiden, and his unwavering loyalty to his son stood as pillars of strength in a tumultuous world. Ragnar's daring raids and audacious adventures captured the imagination of generations, immortalizing him as a symbol of Viking valor and prowess. From the plundered shores of England to the distant lands of the Mediterranean, his legacy reverberated across continents, striking fear into the hearts of his enemies and inspiring awe among his followers. Yet, even as Ragnar's legend reached its zenith, the specter of mortality loomed ever closer. His final moments, fraught with betrayal and sacrifice, served as a poignant reminder of the fleeting nature of life and the inevitability of death. But though Ragnar may have breathed his last, his spirit lives on in the echoes of his deeds and the songs of his people. His legacy, woven into the fabric of Viking lore, serves as a beacon of inspiration for all who dare to dream and strive for greatness. And so, as we bid farewell to the Viking king, we do not mourn his passing, but celebrate the indelible mark he left upon the world. For Ragnar Lothbrok was more than just a man. He was a legend in his own time, whose tale will be told for centuries to come, inspiring countless souls to reach for the stars and forge their own destinies. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to our channel.